Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI live noding. In this video, I'm going to take the inspiration from this video by Digital Crude for Houdini, and I kind of want to try to kind of replicate the effects, but it's not just trying to replicate what Houdini can do, but we're gonna take a look more at how you can do it the same using SketchUp in Blender. I'd like to explain more about the theory behind it if you're still not familiar with randomizations and noise and how you can add a random color into face or to vertices. It's actually pretty basic, basic to intermediate. It depends if you're like if you're perhaps like a programmer and you are used to dealing with data values, and this stuff will be pretty easy, but I guess I want to explain it. You try to follow this in this video. It's using Python expressions to generate random color, or also using Houdini script to do that. We gonna try to do that in Blender. Okay, let's switch to Blender. Let's hide the camera and the lamp, and this is gonna be face random color. Okay, first of all, if you're if you are still new with Blender but you are curious about expression in Blender, Blender has this thing where you can plug in expressions, or kind of expression is kind of, you try to drive a value using another value, and it's kind of like a drivers, but you're using like a code. For example, if you want to move this cube to in x-axis using expressions, you can actually just type in hash frame, which is the frame number, and then it will actually works. It's like this is one of the built-in Python expression. I don't know, maybe you can use random as well. I'm not familiar with that, but even though this is good, sometimes you kind of wanna do it using nodes, I guess, because yeah, that's fine. But if you put too much, it's hard to control, hard to kind of manage all those. But if you're using like a node-based visual programming, it's easier, I guess. Now let's say I want to randomize the polygon face of this guy. How do I do that? We can use SketchUp. Today I'm gonna use SketchUp. It's because it's with SketchUp you can easily goes into the mesh data, like the points, the edges, and the face. Similar to Houdini. With Houdini, you kind of, it's dealing more with points and primitives or polygon face. So let's switch to SketchUp and let's grab these objects. Get selection. So this is the cube. I'll grab it, and then I'm gonna give it a material. In this case, it's gonna be the vertex color, because I'm gonna paint the color procedurally using value. It sounds complex, but it's actually pretty easy, I guess. So vertex color paint on the material, so we can see it on the screen. Let's use the vertex color new node. I probably have talked about this node at some point in my live noding, but not. We're gonna do it slightly differently. So the object we can just choose from here, or we just plug from this guy into that guy. And let's see. This, by plugging this into that guy, this guy will have the vertex color, see, SketchUp color, and we can use that in cycles. But we are using Blender render now, and it can display the color in 3D. I'll show you real soon. Basically here we're gonna provide the list of index and list of color, so that we can colorize this guy. For the index, and okay, by the way, this is also, you can colorize the face or the vertices, or the loop is something that's a little bit hard to understand, but I think it's coloring the vertices. Let's colorize the face. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 polygon face for this box, so we're gonna provide index number. For index number, you can do it like this using the formula. Say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I'll just up to 5 and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe let's say we just give it like 4 index number, and we plug it to the index. And for the color, let's say we're gonna use vector in, give it a red color. Imagine this XYZ is the RGB. Plug that in. We don't see anything yet. If I switch to texture, okay, texture actually give us a result. We have a red, and apparently that's face index 1. If you want thinking to, okay, I want to give like a list of color, how do I do that? Let's see, list vector, I think it's a list join. Yeah, I think it's a list join. So let's say this is red color. Maybe for the second one we want to give like a green color, and another one blue color. This is the more tedious way to do it. Plug this guy in. Okay, nothing happens. Join level list 2. Now we have something. So red, this is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2. Okay, you can give more value, of course. Maybe this is red and blue, purple somewhere. Yeah, we get this magenta. So that's if you want to color it manually, you can do that, of course. But for the index number and the color, we can actually give like a range of number. And to make a range of number, you can use things like range integer, for example. The start and the stop. The stop should be the last, the total number of the polygon face. In this case, we have a box and we have 6, right? We can say stop at 6. And if you check using the stethoscope, the list is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 6 color, 6 list of 6 numbers representing the index of this face. We can just plug this into the index. Now we have all the index ready, but the color we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 color. Maybe we want to give it more color, like this is white color, and one more. Oops, one more. Maybe this is black color, or maybe yellow. Yep. So this is six different color, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we join it using the list join, and then we plug it into the color. That's how you color it manually. But maybe you don't want to do this. I'll save it real quick. Maybe I'll just gonna delete everything. For the color, maybe you want to have like a random color. You can use random vector, because vector gives like a 3 value. However, vector sometimes give it like a color that's kind of too small, or it goes negative. Yeah, you don't want that for color, of course. If I plug this in, see, that's a random color. We can randomize the seed, no problem. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. You rather create your own random color. So your own random color, you can use a random number generator. Say, okay, but random number generator, remember, it's like a single value. Be careful with that. So single value, size of 1. Let's see. We can use join list, join this data together, or we can use a vector actually, vector in. So 1, number 2, and 3. This become our color. We have black at the moment. Maybe our size needs to be, this needs to be 6. Okay, we kind of have like a grayscale value. Maybe we randomize the seed. Okay, that's starting to give us like a random color. Yep, that's pretty cool. Now this number here, 6, representing the total number of the polygon for the box. We want to make that more kind of a more procedural. So we can use this length for that. This guy is gonna count the number of polygon face here. If we use the stethoscope, let's check it out. Yeah, it's correct. It's 6. Be careful if you use level 2, you get a 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. This is actually the, I think, the representing the vertices of the polygon, I believe. Yeah. So you want level 1, so it's 6. We can just plug into the stop and plug this to the size and to the size here and to the size there. The seed, it's up to you. You can randomize that yourself. So 6 colors. It's actually 6 times 3 of this random value, and then 3 random value become a color through the vector node. 6 colors and 6 faces. Okay, that will work. If we have the monkey, of course, it's easy as well. We can just assign this material, and with the material assigned to the monkey, we can simply replace this node with the monkey. Now the monkey also have a random color. It's really that simple. What else I wanna show you? With the Houdini example, with the Houdini tutorial that was shown on the YouTube channel, it goes further. Like it's doing like a deleting of face based on the color. Let's say if we have like if we have color that's like a red, maybe delete the color or keep the color. You can do that using spread chalk as well. I'll show you one more. This is like twisted torus. We just select that torus and we get, this is how you can randomize the color. If you want to do it to the vertices, you can do the same thing. You just switch to the vertices, but make sure the index is to come from the vertices number, not the polygon. So whichever you pick, you need to provide the right number of color. So we have Suzanne here and the donut. I'll use I'm gonna use grid actually to make it simpler. Grid has a bunch of faces. I think it's total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 81 faces. I'm gonna give it a color, and yeah, just select the grid, and we have this. Okay, let's now ask spread chalk. Okay, give me faces that has a red color and then delete it or something, or keep it. Delete or keep it. It's up to you. How are we going to do that? That should be pretty easy, but basically you need to use list masking. This is always kind of like my way of thinking. Okay, you want to kind of delete or mask the face, polygon face, so you need the node that deals with it. List mask is kind of doing that. So okay, list mask, you get that, and we should pipe in polygon data. Okay, polygon data coming in. List level, I'm still not sure whether it's list 1 or 2. I think maybe it's list 1. But for the mask, we just need to provide like a true or false, like a condition. Some kind of condition that say, is it a red for that polygon face? Plug it into this mask. Yeah, let me delete that first. So we just need to provide like a Boolean value, true or false, in there. The output should be, I'm gonna use a fewer draw. I will use like fewer draw MK2 at some point, but for now, so vertices value goes in there, and then the mask data true or false goes into the polygon. You can get that kind of effects, but that's not what we want. So what's the, how do we check the color? Okay, to check the color, we're gonna basically look into this guy. We know that we can use the fewer text to see the color, the list of color at the moment, corresponding to the polygon index. So let's have a look. So we have all this color, and we have this as well, which is kind of useful. So we're gonna check all these and then maybe find if it's a color red. Find a color if it's if the red color is nearing 0, nearing 1 or something. So for that, we can use this random number generator and find the one that's bigger than 0.5 maybe. The conditions. Okay, for the conditions we use the formula. So formula is actually just like the expression in Blender. So we can pipe in this value. This is the red value, of course, and we can ask Spreadshock, okay, check if the X is larger than 0.5. That means the color red is almost like fully red. If you want to like fully red, maybe if X bigger than 0.9, but don't maybe just do it if X bigger than 0.5 and then give it a value. Check it out. See, say false, 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 true, 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 because of false, 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 false. This is a true. This is for index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Index 4 and 5, we have the value that's kind of bigger than 0.5 for the red color. So that will happen for every face indices. Okay, so we can use this guy, plug into the mask, and the result should be okay, this guy. Level is 2. We need to change that, and then yeah, we get this. As I change the red color, I can get a different result, of course. Let's change this to red color. File save. This is another kind of a pit stop. Okay, by doing this, we kind of we're masking the red color from this guy. If you don't believe me, maybe I zero out this guy, and we have just a red color. Whatever value that's kind of reddish will be shown here. You can of course change the expression here to which one kind of more red maybe 0.9, so that's more red, of course. This guy, that guy, almost like 100% red. Okay, that's really how you would kind of delete, or you can delete it by passing data if false. So whatever red colors, please delete it, and we can check it real quick. So whatever red, delete the value. There's a lot of kind of problem solving, or maybe like a kind of like an exercise dealing with a color that's I think kind of interesting. Yeah, maybe I will actually do that more often with a color. This is actually interesting for exercise and practice. So we have colorized, randomized the color polygon face of these guys. We can kind of filter out colors that has more red. Or maybe we can do a little bit more here, and maybe do use the extrude separate face. This is useful as well. So since we already filter out the color, perhaps we can generate something. See, this is like extrude. Please extrude a face that's more red or something. Maybe it's easier if I don't have like two random color. There we go. 2.66 here. Update it. There we go. This is this extrude separate face is super handy actually. If you don't know it already, we can randomize the height. So soon, if you're doing this, you can have like a city once again. For the height, let's see. You can randomize the height, of course. Random number. This is one of my favorite node at the moment. Random number generator. Give it the size. The size should be the number of polygon face that we have here. Should be from this guy. List length, number of face, plug into the size. The value is out to the height. Okay, we can specify the height, the minimum and the maximum height, and whatever in between is our value, random value. And we can randomize the seed. We can actually see, you can see the face that not deleted, the face that's not deleted get extruded up as for this kind of building. You can of course scale these source objects. If you try to do that, see, as scale in Y. Okay, it's not updating. Why is that? Because we need to use the matrix here. Just in case you don't know, apply a matrix. So this is like applying the transformations, and then just now simply plug this back into the final result. Like that. Maybe I plug the wrong thing. This guy to that guy. This vertices to that guy. the length matrix. This into that guy. Update it. Did I do something? It's not right. Get selection. Well, perhaps instead of using our grid here, we can provide our own grid data. So it's I'll use plane and then the least length for the polygon, and the vertices should be for that guy. And this should be for that guy. Oh, yeah, I think I plugged in the wrong thing earlier. Okay, something's gone wrong here. I'm gonna troubleshoot this. Okay, so we are creating a plane inside SphereChalk. Okay, there's a plane with a number of vertices, and so we're gonna get this guy is gonna get the number of face. Let me check real quick. I think there's something load list mask has exemption. SphereChalk no data error. Okay, the data for the polygon face is not plugged into this guy. Vertex color new, expecting a number. And polygon should come from this guy. And I'll give it different color. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about the hiccup. So I'll explain again. So this is the plane that this is a node that create a grid plane there. And that's the result, the blue color. And then the next thing is kind of a how many polygon face do we have? Just count it using list length and pipe it down to generate a random color, to generate a list number, and to generate a random color. Okay, this is random color. Maybe I should join it as a frame, make random color, and here kind of use some expressions. Which random color has the most red? If it has the most red, then use it as a list mask. And then do the masking. And this one's gonna give like random number generator. This is the final result. Looks like all the faces is generating this extrusion, which is probably something wrong down there. I'm gonna check real quick. So we have the vertices, and then we have a polygon. Is our mask like all through? Let me quickly check. Stethoscope. So it falls through, and we have 4 numbers, which is wrong. Apparently the list length need to change. So we have a vector and we have this guy. Why do we have 4 values there? That's weird. Here with the stethoscope, it should give like the total number. Perhaps there's something going on. There you go, list 1, and it should give it like a 16. That's correct. So list 1 is giving out the 16. So there are 16 total number that's plugged into this guy, and this one is gonna colorize. We cannot use the vertex color new, I guess, in this case, unless you piping out the real objects. So don't worry about that. Let's just worry about this then. Okay, cool. Now we have something that's more procedural with our grid here. So we have as many polygon face as we want. Not too much, it might slow down Blender. Don't make like millions of these objects. And we can randomize it further here, because that's the red color. Okay, should we do more with this? Maybe 20, maybe 200. Yeah, I guess that's pretty interesting. Maybe instead of random you want to use noise. Of course, noise is like a kind of a friend of random, but it's with a noise, the value that's next to one value is kind of closer together, so it's like interpolating in between. So instead of random number, let me think, random number, let's do it with the color. So this is random red color, plug into the formula and then plug into this guy. Let's use a vector noise. The noise node in SphereChalk is it does what it does, but yeah, you can output a scalar number like a single value or a vector like a 3 value if you give it like the right input, of course, like let's say like random, not random, not a single value, okay, random vector, plug in a value and then it's gonna generate like a noise kind of value. That's a single scalar value, is the vector output. In this case we want to have scalar, I guess, for the red color. So we can pipe in a random vector, or the vector can be from the number of our polygon face. Let's get the center of each polygon face, for example, and get the origin, plug into the vertices, and I'm gonna use vector math. So this is starting to get just a little bit more complicated because I add a lot of stuff in here. Here should be an add. Yes, we can animate. You will see real soon. Gonna plug in a frame into the X anyway, and then so this can go into the face, and then I can now play back. You can see actually you cannot really see the value at the moment. Maybe I should kind of output the red color. It's doing the noise at the moment. This is the 3. So whatever random noise that's giving a color that's most red will generate this building. I can try to visualize it using the BMesh NK2. So with our grid right here, I'm gonna give it the material, and I'm gonna colorize it using this color perfect texting. New vertex color new, and then I plug in our objects, and then I will use the face, and then the index should be, where is it? Where's our index generator? Oh, I need to make a new one. Please index integer range integer, stop at the total number. This is gonna be the index, and the color should come from this guy, like that. Turn on texture, turn off this. So whatever value that's the most red will have the building being generated. We don't need 1, 2, 3. We don't need that guy. So yeah, that's wholly procedural. This is, give it a different color, like that. Yeah, I guess this is pretty alright. You learn a lot about this. It's like randomization and the noise, and you're kind of doing list masking and extruding inside Sverchok. I'm gonna save this, export it as into GIST for you to study if you want. Try all this number and let's see what you can generate. Here you go, it's generating. If we are updating the frame, it will update. Say 500. 500 is still alright. Remember that if you ask why is this slow, because it's each and every data is in Sverchok is kind of, it can be like a real data. It's not like instant. If you use instancing, this is actually a lot faster. Like you can measure the value here, and then based on this value you want to control the height of the building. You can actually do that. How do you measure the value? I think if you find the average, how to get the average of like if you have a 3 vector and you want to average it, average the color, find the grayscale value, maybe the length, not the length. Well, anyway, you can do that. Just measure the value, the grayscale value, and then pipe the result as the height of this building, and you can get that as well. Yeah. So anyway, that's this is how you could kind of procedurally colorize polygon face, and with that polygon face, you also learn how you can mask polygon face to generate this kind of structure. And it's all procedural. This is you can make like a city out of this. Let's try like really crazy value like 10,000. It's gonna take a while, but I think Spectral could handle it. It's gonna generate like a 10,000 color. It's probably a lot faster if we do it differently. Let's just wait a few more seconds. 10,000 objects. Normally, I think 10,000 objects in Blender, and then it starts to feel slow, like in quotation mark, because with a BMS NK2, it's actually generating 10,000 objects, I believe. Well, anyway, you can wait, or you can end the video right here like now. Thanks again for watching this video. If you have any comments or feedbacks, have any question, you can leave it down below, and then I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for tuning in. See you. Bye.